What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this one we've got this beautiful Porsche Maccan S, and now you can see right here the old screen is very small. It looks outdated. We're gonna update it to go from this old outdated infotainment to this brand new 12.5-inch screen. Now you might be thinking, how are we gonna fit 12.5-inch in the same spot? So what we actually do is we relocate these vents on either side to go underneath, and it gives you this nice big panel to mount the screen. Now one of the most complex part about this installation is not actually the installation itself, it's more so removing everything without actually damaging anything. Alright, so what you want to do is to have something like this, a hook tool at the end. Now this hook tool can go at the very bottom corner is what I like. Now if I shine some light in here, you can see there's a lot of these fins. So you want to avoid the fins when you're going inside the thing. And lock it at one corner, and if you shine some more light, you can see it locks in at the very bottom corner here. Once it's locked into place, you don't want to have a lot of movement so it doesn't twist. As you can see, it has released the bottom part of the AC vent. Now you're going to do the same thing on the top part, so get the thing out until it catches on. You can see physically for it to be catching on there. Now it is really tight, so you want to put some nice pressure, and as soon as you have released the air duct on the left side, you can start pulling it out. You don't have to do anything there. Once you start getting the clips out, the other one will just pop out of place. Now when you look at it from the back side, this is how it looks. When you navigate your hook tool behind, you want to get here, hold on to this hard plastic, make sure you're not holding on to the door, make sure you're not holding on to any of the fins, otherwise it will snap straight away. You want to hold on to the back part of this plastic and then pull it straight out. Don't do any angles, otherwise the thing's going to snap in half. Let me go ahead and repeat that for the other side in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so once the side AC ducts have been removed, it will reveal 4 Torx 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and remove all 4 of them, and that will let you slide your PCM out of place. Slide this door out of the place first, and then you can start sliding the whole PCM out. Now before you slide the PCM out, make sure you've got something nice microfiber lying in there. I like to use this thick one, so make sure that there's nothing that's going to get scratched. Get it out of the way. You can angle it up. It might be easier for you to put this into drive, get this out, remove all the plugs at the back, put it back into park. So let's go ahead and do that. Having a look at the back, you can see there's not that many plugs around here, which means the wiring part of this installation is going to be easy. The hard part is going to be mounting the screen in place, as we are going to relocate the AC ducts. Now, if you've seen one of these installs online, you may have seen how relocating the AC duct in some of the other cases, you have to dislocate it from the bottom part, attach a new one in there, and it's a whole another process that you have to go through. With our kit, we have solved that problem, and it's a much nicer and easier and cleaner fit. So what we do is have your module, the actual brain of the system, on one board, so it goes in here. Then you can have your AC ducts going on top on either side, on the left to left and right to right. They come in with this nice airtight seal that you can mount onto each one of them, and with all of that being done, you can go ahead and mount your front fascia with just 2 plugs at the back and the new screen. Now this will give you a much better fitment than it does in a lot of the other systems. So let me quickly go ahead and start wiring this thing up. Once all of the wiring has been done, I'll show you how it's done. Now one part of the wiring which you do need to be very careful with is this fiber optic here. So first thing we're going to do is remove it out of the shroud. In order to do that, just pull this part up, the tab up with anything small and thin. As soon as you pick it up, releases the clip. It has got numbering on top of it. It's a bit hard to see. Number 2 is always facing up. Then what we want to do is get this holder out from the fiber optic box. Now you can see right here, this tab will match it like that, like so. Make sure number 2 is facing up and the clip, the pull tab clip, is facing down. And then you can slide it in place. It will only go in one way, do not force it in. Once that is in, you can go ahead and plug it in here. This will be our MOS decoder. And the other end, you can have the fiber optic cable coming out here. So just connect it down there. And that is that part done. Now here is the power wiring for your actual fiber optic box. So connect it here. And these 3 wires, now in my case is hardwire, but if you guys are buying a kit, we can do a full plug and play DIY. Otherwise, it's quite an easy process. As you will see through this code lock here, you match yellow to yellow, red to red, and black to black. All that I'm doing in this segment is just stripping the wires with the like-to-like colored cables from MOS decoder and matching it with the relevant cables on my power cable. Now following to that, I'm plugging in the accessories and mounting them at the back and taping everything up to make it look nice and neat, like it's all a part of factory wiring. Once you've done most of the plug and play, this is how everything will look. Now, whilst you guys were not looking, I also went ahead and mounted a new HD microphone right there in the corner. You can see it blends in really well with the A pillar. That one has got a pop filter, it's got noise cancellation. You can use 2 microphones to cancel out noise inside the cabin. Very, very good for good, nice and crystal clear sound, even on higher speeds. Now, this is our radio antenna mounted to the original aerial of the car. You got the big quad lock connector, goes straight in onto the new harness. This is your new canvas box. This will go behind our main machine that will power the whole screen. Now this right here is your camera, the CCD AV in is your camera, the 360 camera will come out of there. And then you've got your USB retention that goes into this mustard plug right here. You got your fiber optics, so this is your most out using fiber optics, so you lose no sound quality whatsoever. This is the power for the fiber optic box, and that is your signal for the fiber optic box to complete the loop on the fiber optics. Now for these power, I've gone ahead and tapped into the main power harness because you only want it to turn on when the thing turns on. It says very clear label. Yellow is constant power, direct battery power, red is accessory, and black is ground. Now once you've mounted all of these, the next part is mounting your aerial and antenna. Before that, let me quickly show you what I've done here is on this SIM card tray harness. You also have the microphone input, which is this black one here. I've gone ahead and put that in, tape it up so it never comes loose, tape the whole thing up so it's not dangling at the back. Now with all of that being done, I'll go ahead and mount our Wi-Fi and GPS antenna down there. Now as long as it's not mounted on a piece of metal, it is good. You want to find a nice flat surface, clean it up, mount it so it never comes out of place, and then I'll show you how to do all of the taping here, and then we'll start mounting our new screen. This is the camera plug coming out from the accessory packet. Get it out, mount it into the CCD AVI in. This is your camera mounted. Next part is doing your GPS antenna, which is the square one around here. So let's go ahead and mount it at the back. Now I like to get a little bit of length on it, tape up the rest. And we'll repeat the same process for the Wi-Fi antenna, which is this long one right here. And with that, everything is mounted. So now what we have to do is neaten all of this up. I like to tape everything up very nice and neat. That way everything looks like it's part of the factory system. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll start mounting our systems after. Alright, so once you guys come to this point, the next part is making your new air ducts. Now these air ducts, you want to make sure these are fully airtight. In order to do that, you take this nice little foam, peel out one side, start sticking it on. So start from one end here, and then just make your way around the corners. Make sure you leave no gap, because this is what's gonna make an airtight seal around your air ducts when you relocate them. Take your time. Stick it on, stick it on. Let's go here. Gives you a little bit of access, so if you make any mistakes, you can get rid of it. That's one part done, right? So what you need to do, just test fit it, make sure it all fits in nice and squeezed. And you can tell that it is gonna stick in there really nice. You can see by the guiding pins there. Now these will go on after we have mounted our screen. So let's go ahead and plug everything into the screen. Everything will only go in one way, so you can't get this wrong. So once I'm done with that, I'll mount the screen, mount this duct, the other one, screw the 4 screws back on. So 2 here, 2 on the other side. At this point, we're pretty much ready to put everything back together, as all of the wiring on the car side is done. We then follow the plug everything in at the back side of our system's drain. And you will notice that on each one of these, they can only go in one way, as a physical pin is different for each port. So as long as you don't force anything in, you will automatically get everything right. All right, so now for the final bit of the screen, you're going to plug these 2 plugs in. They can only go in one way. Plug it behind the screen, mount it here. Now you'll see 4 screw holes, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, mounted there. Put in 4 hardware through here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once the screen is in place, we'll go ahead and test it, make sure everything is working. Then we'll start mounting the side panels and the fascia and the air vent relocated onto the new one. Now once you have all 4 of the screws mounted in, let's go ahead and start the system up and make sure everything is working. All right, so as you can see, the system has just turned on. The camera is all black. Don't worry, it's set to aftermarket camera at the moment. We'll go ahead and fix that in a minute. So let's go back out of there. All right, so now we'll go through all the settings that we have to do. The first one being your camera. So let's go ahead in the settings, scroll down to factory, type in the password 1 2 3 4 5 6. Actually, we'll do camera at the end. Let's go ahead and first select the region to be Australia for your radio. Let's go down, select Australia, scroll down. Make sure your microphone selection is set to rear. You want rear microphone, not the front. And scroll on top, click on reverse camera selection, click normal, NTSC, click enter, click OK. This will reboot the whole system. Now, as you can see, it's a new trim that comes in as a part of our kit. When you put it in place, this should, in theory, sit nice and flush. Now that side is done. We'll do the other side when we're back on that side. Camera does come on, your parking sensors are working. Let's go ahead and test for sound, so just click on the song here. Yeah, it's working. Just going to get a copyright infringement. Okay, now for next part, we're going to go ahead and select your date and time. So go here, scroll all the way to the bottom, click more, go down, 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 and here you'll see system, date and time. Now you can see it's selecting time zone automatic. We don't want to give it automatic time zone. However, we do want to provide the actual to set to the correct one. We're inside the garage, so it might not work straight away here. Maybe when we connect it to our hotspot, it will work straight away. All right, so let's mute that back off. Now let's set up our CarPlay. CarPlay, how you want to set up is first go here. Let's remove all of the test devices. Go in there. Let's put on Porsche, click done, confirm, that's done. So once we connect it on, we'll also set the microphone gain to high. Now when we connect our phone, it will all go through the CarPlay. We'll set up the CarPlay in a second, which is your Healing 5, click on it, setting here. Right-hand drive, this is right-hand drive car. Background connections, when you get in the car, you don't have to open it. And link mode first will always default you back into CarPlay. Now, once all of that is done, we know everything is working. Let's quickly go ahead and test our AC. Make sure the AC is working as well. There's ample amount of airflow. Yep, none of the airflow is lost. That side as well. As you can see, both sides of aircon is working perfect. So we know everything is working. Your steering wheel controls, everything on the steering wheel is still working. That's perfect. So once that is all done, now we can go ahead and mount our final panel back on, connect our phone, have wireless CarPlay, and I'll show you all the functionality and how to use it. Now this side air duct we have to remove from the original one and put it back onto our new one. Now this one here is held in by 3 TouchScreen, 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and undo them. And put the trim to the side, 3 screws. Get your new trim that's gonna go onto the car. Just mount it here in place. Slide it in. Wait until you hear the nice click where it locks in. It's locked into place. Once it's locked into place, you can go ahead and mount the 3 TouchScreen screws back on. I like to do crisscross pattern, so I'll do one on this corner, then I'll do this side and then this side. Make sure it's all working, so up and down, yep, all perfect. Now you can go ahead and push this back into place from where it came out. Let's just do that here. You want to be very careful not to chip off your screen. Yep, and then the other one. Now once it's all locked into place, you can go ahead and peel that plastic. Such a satisfying feeling. And with that, the entire installation is finished. Now what I'm going to do at this stage is go ahead and pack everything from the original one into the box where the new unit came out of. So that way, if you ever have to go back to factory, you can do it. Now this system is not a splicing wire, so you can always go back to factory if you ever need to. However, with how good the system works, you would never have to worry about that. It's only when you try to go and sell the car and someone tries to whinge about it, you can do it. So let me quickly go ahead and do all of that, and I'll show you how to use this system to its max potential. All right, so for the first part, let me show you how you can do a hotspot. Just go in here, click and hold onto Wi-Fi. It will turn the Wi-Fi on. Now I've got my hotspot running off my phone, so just click on that. The password on here, let me go ahead and type that. This will be the password to your Wi-Fi connection. Now you'll see it will say connecting, obtaining, connected. Perfect. Now as soon as the Wi-Fi is connected, it will all sync up the time and everything to the time zone. Now you can go ahead and let's test if something like YouTube is working. So let's go and find Google. Now the reason why I'm going through Chrome and not the YouTube app is because first time I sign up, everything's gonna update. We're gonna wait for it to update in the background. In the meantime, we can test everything. Just once. You can sign into your YouTube account as well if you'd like to do that. Let's just test anything, make sure things are working. I'm an actor. You can see all the sound and everything is working. Let's not get a copyright. You can go out, go back into apps. Now you can turn the hotspot off. You can also put in a SIM card as I've shown you before. Now let me show you how to connect your Apple CarPlay. Now on here, go on to Bluetooth. Now the easiest way to do it, just click the search button here. You will look up for your phone, WAC, click on that. And then the password on here is 0000. Click pair, say pair success. Give you a couple of prompts on your phone to connect to Apple CarPlay, so just follow through that. Click connect. So connecting CarPlay. First time it will say just click do not pop the reminder again. And now you're up into Apple CarPlay. You got your Spotify, calls, Waze, everything up there. Spotify is working, that's good. Now you got a full range equalizer, how you can access that. Just click the circle there. Go on to apps and you'll see one of them saying DSP. Right there. And you can change all of your equalizer setting. If you like a bit more basic, set to raw. It's quite basic, let's just make it a copyright. And then you've got your CarPlay, full screen maps, half screen maps, Waze, Apple Maps, Google Maps, everything, Android Auto, everything wireless. Camera still working, pretty amazing. Really, really nice system, guys. Now, if you guys got any question in regards to this install, send us an email on info@westernautocustoms.com.au or simply log on to our website www.westernautocustoms.com.au to see how we can help you with your car. Peace.